So we're gonna have spoilers.
Full spoilers, yeah.
Well, spoilers. If you don't know by now, we go deep dive into these films, and this was one that I know, Paul, you haven't seen before, right? Going into this episode.
Welcome back to is this episode 4? No, 5. Episode 5 of Two Guys and a Movie. Last week we did a movie. I can't even remember what we did.
What movie was that? I forgot too.
Sorcerer.
That's right.
We did Sorcerer. It was so good we forgot the movie.
Wow.
Sorcerer, yes. So last week we did Sorcerer. Rave reviews of that episode. 5 stars. Everyone says it's the
Can't
best
believe
episode we
like
ever did.
6,000 views, I think, is right
I
now.
even got a call from Siskel and Ebert's producer asking if we wanted to do a new show and revive it as Paul and Dan. I said no because this show is kicking ass, and so we're going to keep going. We're not going to sell out.
Yeah.
But today's movie is a newer movie that was just released this year in theaters and released on physical media on 4K just by the time this airs a month ago.
Right.
And that is, as I already showed, Sinners from Ryan Coogler, starring Michael B. Jordan. And yeah, so we're going to talk about that. But to kick it off, I'll just say, Buddy Guy, he had a rough teenage and adulthood.
So we're gonna have spoilers.
Full spoilers, yeah.
Well, spoilers. If you don't know by now, we go deep dive into these films, and this was one that I know, Paul, you haven't seen before, right? Going into this episode.
Yeah, unfortunately, I missed it in the theater. I really wanted to see it in the theater because, of course, heard about the aspect ratio, the IMAX, and I really wanted to see that in a theater. I mean, yeah, they have it on the 4K, but it's not the same as being in a theater with with a screen and everything. But unfortunately, I just wasn't able to see it in theaters, so I watched it on 4K. And thanks to Warner Brothers for sending this to me. And this is our review.
Sinners is actually about twins, Smoke and Stack. Twins Smoke and Stack return to Mississippi to open up a new juke joint. Their cousin Sammy, a young blues guitarist, joins them against his father's wishes. The joint opens, and this becomes more supernatural as the night goes on. This is a original vision from Ryan Coogler, and yeah, it came out in March of 2025. So, Paul, what were the negative reviews? Not very many. I mean, I think there was a couple.
Yeah, that's the thing with this movie is that, first of all, the Rotten Tomatoes score, 97 critical response, 96 audience response.
Yeah, it's near perfect.
Yeah. And I had to dig to find some negative reviews. They're there, but I had to dig for them. So this is just a few negative reviews, and then we'll get into some of the positives. So let's see here. Okay, this is a good one. Ken said, "What? Oh, half a star. Not even a 1 star. Half star." He goes, "Yawn. I've tried to finish watching it several times, but I just keep falling asleep. It is truly boring." Half a star. Sophia says, which I don't understand this first part because this first part has nothing to do with the movie she mentions. "Similar to Jennifer's Body." What? It lost me at many points. Lots of aspects of the plot didn't add up. Pure trash. Even if you are into that.
Yeah.
Try to make sense of that review. I can't. Pure trash, even if you're into that.
It's interesting. Yeah, it's.
And Similar to Jennifer's Body. I don't know how it's even remotely comparable to Jennifer's Body. Let's do this 2-star review. This is 2 stars. So this guy actually liked it more than the others.
He might have watched it.
Anonymous, or Mads T, that's his name. "This was a very disappointing movie. I had high hopes after the hype to see a good horror movie. I don't know why so many rate it highly, but it is basically the same plot of From Dusk Till Dawn, and has the same pacing of it too. It isn't really a horror movie either, and the effects are not good. Sure, it's watchable, but it drags on for too long. It is one of those movies that isn't certain what it wants to be, either when it comes to being a musical, a period drama, or a horror movie. It all blends together into something that just tastes very bland and something that has been seen before.
I'm
One
not
more
ready.
here.
Okay,
One more here. And this is the best, the absolute best. Half a star. Very simple to the point. Worst film I have ever seen. Exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point.
oh my gosh.
Um, yeah, it's. I don't understand. So, sometimes I wonder if these people even watch the movie,
Right.
or they just go on there and start blasting it and making up crap.
Exactly. All right, so I've got one on Reddit.
Is this a
And
negative?
yeah,
Okay.
it's the title is Why Sinners Isn't a Great Movie and How Fake Positive Reviews Are Killing Cinema. I knew nothing about the movie beforehand except that it was a vampire movie. I was honestly so confused for the first half because no vampires. I loved all the character building though. Then there was a vampire. Okay. Then this amazing juke joint. Yay. Here comes the vampire who wants Sammy for his talent. Or something. I don't know. They really rushed through that one. And they already killed the people I liked. So I'm kind of looking for a reason to care. Okay, now more people I like are dying. Okay, they killed the head vampire. Also, the KKK people. The fuck? Obviously, I'm explaining this like a 5-year-old, but my point is that the crux of the strife was breezed over. The crucifix of the strife, or something like that, was breezed over so much that it was all presented after many characters were turned that I had no idea why I should even care at that point.
Yeah, he sounds like a 5-year-old.
Yeah.
I'll say
Um.
that is funny. Um, yeah, I don't agree with that at all. First of all, it shows the first vampire like 15 minutes into it, somewhere around there. I mean, it's pretty quick when he shows up at that house. Um, it's pretty quick.
There's even that opening scene, where when Sammy comes into the church, there's a quick cut to
Yeah,
what happened that night. So you kind of have
you have a
that
sense. Yeah,
brewing, yeah.
and I don't know what kind of characters he's talking about because from what I remember, there was no outstanding lead characters that were immediately killed. I guess he loves background characters.
Yeah.
I don't know. They're weird. Um, let's cleanse the palate a little bit with one positive review. And I'm going to say one because this is probably the best review that just sums it all up perfectly. And this is from a viewer. Her name is The Anxious Hobbit. And she actually just saw it 2 days ago from the time we're filming this. And she sent me her thoughts. And I told her I would share it
Okay.
on the show. So, Anxious Hobbit, 5 stars. Sinners is the type of movie that doesn't just sit with you after it's over. It's the kind of movie that crawls into your bloodstream and stays there long after the credits roll. This film is sure to be Coogler's magnum opus, the legacy he leaves behind that makes a huge impact on cinema history. This film is so much more than meets the eye. This film is about cultural identity, assimilation, spiritual transformation, and power, the dangers of conformity, and so much more. This is definitely a film to be watched more than once in order to get the deeper meanings and themes of this masterpiece. So that kind of sums it. I don't need to read any more positive reviews. That sums it up right there.
Yeah.
And I'm only going to I'm already going to tell you what I liked about the movie. I agree with her 100%.
Wow.
I don't think this is his magnum opus, but I think that it's up there. He's definitely going to make more. I mean, you can definitely see that when he's not doing Marvel stuff, he
Yes.
really has something to say. And I think he's gotten his Rocky out of his system, his
Yeah.
Marvel out of his system, And I think he's really kind of washed his hands from that, and he's really going to start making films that really mean something. Um, I mean, his first film, Fruitvale Station, was great and had a lot to say.
Yeah.
And there wasn't a whole lot to say in his movies since then. Like with Creed, yeah, it was great, but there was nothing really cultural. I mean, I guess there was a little bit, but not like to.
It was an IP.
Yeah.
Black Panther is an IP. This is an original big budget film. Yeah, I want to say the budget was around it was around 100 million, and the box office it's 365 million right now. So it's approaching 400 million for an R-rated movie that's original. That's super rare.
Yeah, and it's not it's original. It's not an IP. It's not it's not an R-rated DC movie. It's
Right.
not, and
He's the only writer.
yeah, that's right. And I mean, this proves he's a true auteur, true writer director. So if you had any doubts that Ryan Coogler can actually make a movie that makes you feel, that makes you think, that has underlining themes, this is the movie that proves that he can. And I think he has much more to say as his career goes on.
Yeah. The trailers for this, when I first saw them, I wasn't fully impressed though.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the trailers didn't really grab me, but I love Coogler's work, and Michael B. Jordan is great, so I was gonna go regardless, and it ended up being like way better than I imagined.
Yeah.
We'll talk about our favorite scenes. I mean, but overall, I think Coogler, the way he uses the camera, it really felt like early Spielberg at times.
Yeah.
The way that he really makes the camera tell a story.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. Even that I was thinking about The Color Purple.
Yeah.
During this, and the way he blocks shots and the way he moves the camera felt like Spielberg. You can definitely tell he took inspiration from Spielberg. But yeah, this is definitely a director that has much more to say. What I loved about it too is it didn't hit you over the head with racism.
No.
He's not saying, "Hey, I'm making a black movie." He's not saying, "Hey, Whitey's bad." It is just what it is, and he's in the. I mean, they go to them. So, from what I gathered, because they don't really say 100% what happened, but from what I gather, they're working for Al Capone. They're bootleggers and mobsters, and they're working for Al Capone. They stole money from Capone, and they're on the run. And
beer.
What was that?
And beer.
And beer, yeah, and Italian beer, right?
I think it's like a Irish.
Yeah, Irish beer, and they go to hide out in their hometown in the Mississippi Delta.
Right.
And then yeah, I mean, and I
got a cousin that's really good at blues.
Right. It turns out to be Buddy Guy.
Preacher Boy. Yeah, I mean, okay, we'll just go to that right now because honestly, when that scene popped up and it was Buddy Guy playing at his blues club, I was like, amazing. I was like, Spielberg cinema,
Right.
Okay, this is awesome because I have seen Buddy Guy live in person.
Oh, really?
It is, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Experience. Like he walked through the crowd.
Oh, wow.
And he was like playing with his mouth. It was like, because there's a whole thing about eating vagina in this movie too.
Yeah, oh man.
But anyways, that Buddy Guy thing, that was the cherry on top for me. I was like, yeah, this movie was awesome.
Yeah, so Buddy Guy in '93 he made an album called Feels Like Rain, and it is the first album that my dad bought me, and I still have the disc.
Wow.
The CD. This and a 38 Special album is the first two albums my dad bought me this. And he hands it, I remember him handing it to me and saying, "You need to listen to this. This is what music is." And I put it on and God, I loved it. I listened to it all the time. And so I became a fan of Buddy Guy ever since then. That was in '93, I think. And so yeah, I was blown away too. I was like, wait a minute. that is that Buddy Guy?
Yeah.
And I was like, holy crap, this is awesome. I loved it. What's interesting too is I looked him up. Buddy Guy's 88 years old
Yeah.
too.
He is.
He does not look like he's 88.
No.
So he, yeah, I mean, that was a true surprise. And everyone's calling this a post-credit scene, which
Yeah.
is not a post-credit scene. It is just part of the movie because during the end credits, I just watched it before we came on recording, and from the time it says directed by Ryan Coogler onward, it shows clips of him playing in the blues
Exactly.
club. And then after the producer's credit or some executive credit, then it goes into the scene. I don't know if you want to talk about now or later, but so it is not a post-credit scene. If anything, it's like what you said. We talked about this before we started shooting. It's an epilogue, is
Definitely.
what it is.
Definitely.
So yeah, it is. Yeah, not a post-credit scene.
And the remaining vampires show up too, and it's like a 5-minute scene.
Yeah, it was longer than I thought it was going to be.
They're like, "We love your music. I'm glad we kept you alive. If you ever want to come over and live forever." They address his age and everything. He's like, "I'm about to be out of this world."
Yeah.
And yeah, like there's a whole spiritual aspect, the music aspect of like music history and all that overlapping, and then there's a vampire thing all coming together in this one 5-minute post epilogue or whatever ending of the movie.
And then they hug it out.
Pretty much, yeah. I thought it was, yeah.
So I can't remember. Was it Smoke? It was Stack that got bit, right?
Yeah, it was Smoke or Stack, and then they promised each other like keep the boy alive.
Yeah, which was, I love that aspect of it, and he kept his word even as a vampire. But he gave him a choice. He's like, you're about to leave this world anyway, so you might as well turn and play your blues forever.
And I don't know, did it show up like 1990 something, right? Because they're dressed in 90s clothes.
80s.
Okay, I was gonna say it might have been right around that album when it came out.
Yeah, no, it was earlier than that. It was the 80s. I mean, I don't think it said the year, but you could tell by the way they're dressed. It was probably late 80s, early 90s. But yeah, I mean, I loved it. It was funny though. Ryan Coogler dressed the way he's dressed. It made me think of a SNL skit with oh crap, what's his name? Hang on here. The guy from Community.
Jay something.
Hang on here.
Chevy Chase?
No, not Chevy Chase. Donald Glover. Donald Glover,
yeah.
He did an SNL skit where he dressed almost just like that, and singing like an 80s thing. It reminded me of that. But yeah, it was a great epilogue. I love the way it ended with that. It was like the cherry on top of the
It really was.
But yeah, what I like too is that you have two threats going on. The vampire threat, but also in the beginning of the movie, they're buying this abandoned sawmill from a I guess ex-KKK member, who's now a part of Jim Crow. He's a racist. They know he is, to the point where he says, if I ever see you or your people around here, we're going to kill you.
Yep.
Which pays off in the ending. And so opening night, they're playing their music, and so you have that looming over. When is Jim Crow coming to attack?
Exactly.
But also the vampire aspect. So you got two threats happening right then, and I kept wondering, when are they going to come when the vampires are attacking, and then they turn their attention to Jim Crow? It keeps you on your toes on what's happening. But I loved how they did that, and I loved how they did that. Where after, we're just gonna spoil the crap out of this thing. I loved after everything that happens with the vampires, and then he shows up, the guy that they buy the sawmill from, and it didn't feel like okay, come on, let's wrap this up. Do we have to have 3, 4 different endings like some movies feel like? It was done so well that you're like, yes, you know, and then the payoff was just, I mean, everything is just great in this film.
Um,
Everything, and a lot of setup and payoff,
right.
which is missing from a lot of movies today.
Yes.
It's very rare to have a movie where it has setup and then payoff later.
There's a lot of, and it takes us time to build the characters early on. You know, you feel like you're watching a Martin Scorsese gangster film for the first, 30 minutes or so,
Yeah,
and about these twins and then their past and meeting with Delroy, the actor
Del Rolando,
Delroy Lindo.
which was great in this movie. He was in.
So good.
He was. I think. I don't know. I want to say I think this is one of his best acting roles. I mean, he
I was gonna say,
so good.
I know it's early, but I feel like this movie's gonna be out for Best Picture. I know that's
Yeah,
probably gonna happen.
I hope so. I hope so.
Kuga possibly for director, but Michael B. Jordan possibly for actor. Delroy maybe for supporting, but probably not. But he gives that good a performance though.
Oh, yeah, 100%. And I love that. I don't remember which one it is, Smoker Stack, but they go and meet his old flame and they that he had a
Oh,
child
she
with.
shows up at the train station.
The other girl that he had a child with.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, she's, I don't know, is she a voodoo?
Yeah, she's into that. Yeah,
Yeah,
supernatural type stuff. Well,
yeah.
and there's a reason. I mean, she's trying to communicate with their son.
And I love that too. That they didn't just come in and he's like, she's like, I know why you left because of her dead son. They didn't do kind of that
Right,
kind of crap. Before he even walks into the house, he stops at the grave,
right.
and and you obviously know that it's there's son, and then when they meet and they talk, then you realize, oh, that's their son's grave outside,
Yeah,
and I mean it was emotional. Um, and then they get it on.
and yeah, it turned sexy.
um, and then but yeah, so it sets up that character where she is into voodoo,
Yeah,
talking with the dead. She knows about supernatural things, and it plays
it pays
again
off
setup
later.
and payoff,
That's
where
it.
she's the one that says these are vampires, and she's the one that tells them what they need to do in order not to be attacked. Um,
None of
but
these characters are wasted.
yeah, everyone has something
There's
to do.
intention by every scene has intention and meaning.
Yeah, yeah. Every character has something to do, and then you have what you thought I was talking about. The girl that shows up at the train
Yeah,
station.
Haley
Uh,
Stanfield. Yeah,
yeah, she was incredible in this film too. I think she might even get a
yeah.
nomination.
I mean, I've always liked her. It's since Edge of 17, True
Yeah,
Grit.
True Grit.
Yeah.
Yeah, which by the way, hot take, I think is better than the original.
Oh, absolutely, by far.
I tell people that, and they look at me like I just told them I killed their
Part of
daughter or
that is
something.
just because I think John Wayne is like corny, but
Yeah, well,
that's a different podcast.
yeah. Um, so what I liked about it too is, vampire movies. Vampire movies are always the same, unless you try to change the rules.
Yeah,
And I always thought when you're changing the rules, what are you doing? It's a cheat. Because you want the characters to do something, and the only way characters can do what you want them to do is by changing the rules of the vampires. And then you get something like freaking Twilight, or something like that. Or I'm not gonna say Blade because Blade's different, but you have there's some vampire movies where they change the rules where they can live by daylight, by
right.
sunlight. It takes a really good writer to understand how to play with the rules and yet still get to where you want to be in the storyline and with the characters. And so Ryan Coogler did not mess with the rules of vampires. He kept with the traditional rules of vampires, which I really liked and I really respected that. Um, so he didn't try to cheat his way.
Right.
and to
And
getting things done.
that's why my argument is like it's so much more than a vampire film,
Yeah.
and it keeps the vampire stuff simple. And I didn't feel lost at all or anything like that. And I mean, we're mixing up the twins a little bit, but that's probably just
Yeah.
you know
That's easy
normal.
to do.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. What did you think about the twin aspect?
Well, Smoke and Stack, that's a famous blues song. So I like that uh, playing into the blues history
Yeah.
behind. There's little bits of, if you're anything familiar with music history, rock, blues, all the southern stuff, you kind of pick up these little crumbles of references, which I really appreciated the details that he put into this. But I thought they were different people because you have the one that's got the mourning the loss of a son, the other one that has the woman who's like waited for him and
Mm-hmm.
she left him, but they're both like gangster in their own way, and together they're really not the greatest of people. They're not to be sinners, I guess,
Yeah.
and they're kind of a bad influence for their cousin as his father sees. And but I thought Michael B. Jordan did a great job really keeping them different as far as acting and personality.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I read an interview, and you might relate to this. I don't know if I heard there's like twins or trouble sometimes, because there's like some sort of like twins lore where like you better, like people used to say like you better watch out for those twins, or something. There's some sort of like he said it. I'll have to find the clip, but Ryan Coogler goes into like why he chose to do twins, because bad things always seem to happen in pairs or something like that. It was some kind of theory that
Yeah.
they would the neighborhood always fears like the twins, those twins.
It's like twin urban legend type stuff.
Yeah, something like that.
Beware the twins.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're watching this, guys, the name of the channel is Twin Flicks for a reason. I'm a twin. My twin brother is Simon. And so what I loved about the way they handled the twin aspect is unlike any other movie I've seen before. Every single movie, they always have it where, the twin can feel what the other twin's feeling or what the other twin's thinking. And me and you and Simon, we've done some shows together, and you can see that's not true. We have our own thoughts. We have our own opinions. We're old people. And that is what I always hate about movies when they try to do twins is like, you hit one twin on the head and the other twin feels it type of thing, which is complete BS. And so you can sense when the other twin is sad or something because you're close. You have that connection, just like a wife and a husband. If they're very close, you can always tell what the other person's feeling, or a very close friendship. And so that's really what you can relate it to is like, I can always tell when Simon's sad or when Simon's, I don't know what he's thinking, but I can tell there's something bothering him. And so that's what I liked about that, how they handled the twin aspect is they, like I said, they didn't do the usual typical twin thing where he's like, you know what I mean? I know what you mean. Let's do it.
I saw it too.
Yeah, type of thing. Because there's a scene early on when I don't when they're by the car, and is it money? I think they're giving each other. They're passing each other something, and he throws the other twin. I forget what it is. He throws the other twin something, and then he catches it, and it's like in good synchronism, good rhythm. That can be a twin thing because I've done that to Simon where it's like he knows what I'm going to do before I do it, but it's just because we know each other. It's not because we have a telepathic ability. Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. Like, telepathic ability is what people tend to think twins have, which is total BS.
Yeah.
And I'll say this right now: if you ever have twins, do not dress them the same, please, because twins hate that crap. Just a side note.
Yeah, and they're not dressed the same. They wear different, colors and everything like that.
Right, right. And that, yeah. So like I keep saying, I love the way Ryan Coogler handled that aspect of the twin. That they are different people. Just because they share similar DNA doesn't mean they're the same person. Um, and yeah, so I really like that. They both had different lives. It seems like they probably both lived. It seems like to me they lived different lives. And then when they went to World War One,
Yeah,
they went together. They came together to fight World War One, and then they took off and they started whatever bootlegging and mobster stuff, and they just kind of stuck together. So, like I said, I really like that aspect of it.
and they have a reputation in their hometown too.
Yeah,
Mm,
and some good, some bad. Like
Yeah.
it depends.
Exactly.
Just like a mobster, where they do good things, but they also do really bad things.
Right.
Um, yeah, and that's what his dad warns him of in the beginning when he says he's going with Stack and Smoking Stack, and his dad's like, "They're trouble, son. You
Yeah.
know, they don't have God with them.
Right.
They're sinners." Um,
And the
and
music you're playing is Devil's Business
yeah,
and something like that.
the devil's music.
Yeah.
I definitely want to talk about that incredible scene with the different where they start playing the music and it shows the different periods of music. I want to hear your thoughts on it.
Yeah, so I'm sitting in theaters and the juke joint is going and then there's just like I hear this electric guitar and I'm like, okay. And then you see the guy, he's playing the electric guitar and there's all different music going on at the same time and it just felt like it just made sense. Like I just feel like this is so risky, but it feels good, it feels right, and it really fits the tone of like the whole music legacy. I mean, it fit with old school, even new school rap, and everything was like all genres are blended together, and just shows how music influences each other. Yeah, it's a special scene. It's one of my favorite scenes of the film.
Yeah,
And
I actually after that scene's finished, I actually wound it and watched it again.
yeah,
It was handled so well because if it, right, that scene shows you that Ryan Coogler knows how to make a film. Because under the wrong hands, that could have turned into such a mess.
I wish you could have seen the movie in theaters because the
Oh
sound
man!
mix is insane.
And even though I have a home theater system,
Yeah.
it's still not the same as being in a theater. I don't have 13,
Yeah.
speakers, 13 channels coming at me. Um,
There's so much going on in the sound mix. It's just, it's so heavy. And there's that scene, not to jump too far away from where we were, but where Delroy is talking about a lynching, and they play the audio clip
oh yeah,
of that lynching
in the
while he's
background.
like thinking about it or talking about it. So I thought that was a cool edit.
Yeah, I love that. I love that so much.
Yeah.
While he's talking about it, and you subtly
You can hear
you can hear it in the background very subtly. If you have a home theater system like I do, it was in the back channels, in the rear channels, not in the front. It was in the rear, so it made it feel really eerie. And the way they placed and mixed the sound design, it was behind you, not in front of you, and that made it feel really eerie.
And that elevated the scene for me.
And,
It was like, wow.
yeah, it literally gave me chills.
Yeah.
And I mean, just talking about it kind of gave me chills now.
And there's a couple like legit jump scares in theaters. Like early on when Sammy returns to the church with the guitar handle at the beginning, and it jumps to like the vampire or whatever
the
cutting.
flashback.
Yeah. And then there's another one too where at the door where the vampire reaches in or something like that. But yeah, the sound design is just incredible, man.
Yeah. Oh, that is definitely going to be nominated for technical awards for sure.
But that party scene, it was just it was even better in theaters.
Well, what I love too is the sound mixing. Like we just talked about, the music mixing, they blended in so well. and I loved how when they would transition from one style to
Yeah.
another, they would still keep that style that was previously, but it would
Yeah.
be lower, and you would still hear echoes, like subtle echoes of it while they're moving in through the generations of
Yeah.
different music.
He
And
was
I didn't
he was unlocking the past and the future.
right. I didn't think they were actually going to go as far as they did,
Yeah.
playing even modern rap. Did they do Nirvana?
It sounded like there might have been a riff.
Yeah, because I thought I heard that, which I was
Yeah.
surprised by, because I thought I heard that. So yeah, I mean, and like you said, it shows how music influences what we hear even today. I mean, like they say, the blues was born out of the South, Mississippi, the deep South, Mississippi, and the blues it just developed into even what we hear today.
Yeah.
And I mean, do you think that was the point of the scene to show?
Oh,
How?
absolutely. I think not only the supernatural aspect, but also like just the blues culture in general. I
And
mean, this movie is really like a big essay too on blues music and music
oh
history.
yeah,
On top of that, there the vampires and the supernatural, but there's so much more going on. As you know.
you know what? I was just thinking about this. And from the surface, it's a vampire movie, right?
Right.
How much have we actually talked about vampires?
Exactly.
We're not. We're talking about all the other aspects of the movie, which is incredible when you think about it. That the focus isn't really on the vampires. The focus is on these characters
Exactly.
and the time period it's set in, and I mean that shows you how brilliantly written this film is.
Yeah.
Um,
And once we get to the vampires, there's that cool cut where the vampire jumps down in front of the camera,
yeah,
and then they play that like heavy metal riff. I mean,
yeah,
that was so cool. It was like out of the '80s.
it was awesome, and sometimes like I said earlier, sometimes under a different director, it comes off as corny and just doesn't work. Like I've seen that kind of stuff before, and I laugh.
Yeah.
Not with this.
No.
He knew what he was doing. He knew how to handle it correctly. Um, and I mean, you want to get into the vampires now?
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
Um, so going back to what I said about how he kept the traditional vampire rules, he didn't try to reinvent the vampire wheel, but what he did do to keep it interesting is number one, in the time period it's set in.
Yeah.
I've never seen a vampire movie set in the 30s.
True.
Um,
Or South.
in the South too, yeah. And when you think about it, that's kind of like the perfect place for a vampire to be is in the South
Definitely.
because nobody's really there. Um, but yeah, I mean, when go on, I'm trying. My mind went blank for a second.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, what's the guy's name? Jack.
I believe
Jack
so.
O'Connell,
Yeah.
like the leader or the. I mean, he's
Joe,
essentially the devil, right?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I
He's the
mean,
leader, of course, for sure.
yeah. I mean, they play on that aspect
Yeah.
that he sent from the devil, but who knows? I mean, whatever. I didn't really pay attention to that part.
Yeah. He's got like that. I don't know, the hand or whatever that goes across Sammy's face at
Yeah.
that point and takes the guitar to the face. But I thought he was great though as the leader and showing up at that doorstep burnt up, and those Native Americans are like, "Oh, we got to get out of here.
Yeah.
You
Right.
guys have fun with this,"
They were the smart ones.
because they knew what he was about. And
Yeah.
yeah, the couple gets turned over, and then they hear the music and they can see the whole juke joint in flames, and they approach to try to join the party as banjo players
Yeah.
in this banjo group, and the song are interesting too. And then you had this dance back and forth where people get turned and they want and be invited back in and stuff like that, and it
So
turns
the
into the survivor of the fittest at the end, and chaos, and becomes this action film. That's it's a lot of fun. And then I mean, the vampire stuff is great. Um,
so
I think it's just, I don't think it's definitely scary or anything. I just think
yeah,
it's saying a lot.
it's not a
I like,
horror movie. It's I would not consider this a horror movie. Um, it's got horror elements, but to
yeah,
say it's a horror movie is incorrect. Um, but I loved all that where, so like we said that the, I don't remember her name, the girl, I'm going to say the voodoo girl, the voodoo girl,
oh yeah.
the girlfriend, she's the one that knows what's up, and she's saying don't let them in because vampires, they cannot come in unless you invite them in.
Right.
And so what I love is they had that whole scene, however long it goes, of them continually trying to come in, trying to trick them. Like the one that comes to my mind is the guy, the door guy,
Yeah.
the doorman. He's there all night long, and then he has to go to the
In the
bathroom,
bathroom. Yep.
and then Delroy
Where
Lindo,
you
right? He
been?
takes his place, and all of a sudden he shows back up, and he's like, "Where you been?" And he acts completely normal. And so, as even myself, I was thinking, well, maybe he just doesn't show anything happen, so maybe he
Right.
didn't get turned because he was acting completely normal. There was nothing suspicious about him at all. And but yet she knew. She's like, "Don't let him in. Don't let him in." And what I liked is that Ryan Coogler, not Ryan Coogler, Michael B. Jordan was actually listening to her, which typically doesn't happen in these types of movies
Sure.
where he'd be like, "Girl," you know what I mean? Like, what are you talking about? Type of attitude, and that didn't happen. He believed her.
He may
Which,
not have if they hadn't have made up earlier, and she came in and cooked the food for the
yeah,
joint and everything.
which also shows their love for each other, that he
Yeah,
trusts her 100%.
exactly.
Um,
There's
but
the other great scene, and it's a reference to The Thing, John Carpenter's The Thing, where with the garlic tasting.
oh yeah, yeah. Well, they
Yeah,
were all tasting the garlic, and
yeah.
then it was the Haley Stanfield, right? No, yeah.
No,
Well,
Delroy, he
no,
claims he has too much alcohol or whatever, and
okay, yeah, that's right. And then, but it wasn't Haley Stanfield too, where she refused to eat it because she didn't like the taste of garlic,
yeah,
something like that.
yeah, because
Yes,
she's the first one that turned. She goes out and talks to
yeah,
the vampires and stuff, try to figure out what they want and stuff, and returns, and yeah,
yeah. And what I loved about it is they, like I said, they don't show them, the three vampires turning everyone that goes out there to try to talk to them. Um, and so they return as normal people, not suspicious at all. Going back to the door guy, and then that was a jump scare to me, even when I was watching it at
yeah,
home, because he suddenly, I forget exactly what happens, but he suddenly just lashes out at Delroy Lindo, I believe,
hmm,
and they're like, "Holy shit!" And they close the door because they never actually invited him in, but he stuck his hand out there to grab him,
yeah,
but yeah, I want to go back to that, the like a reference of the thing, because they each, in the thing they do the blood test where
the
each
petri
one's
dish.
take,
Yeah,
yeah, in the petri dish, and and so I loved how they did that, where there were Lindos, and it gets really suspenseful. The music starts to grow. He's got Michael B. Jordan points the gun at him
hmm,
because he does eventually take the garlic, but he starts choking on
yeah,
it. But they think he's turning. They
right,
don't know, and so he points the gun at him, and the music grows, and it got suspenseful. And then we find out he was just choking on it. And then Haley Stanfield, she refused to take it. So again, you have that aspect where, okay, we already went through a suspenseful scene where this character we thought might be turned into a vampire and he didn't. So now Haley Stanfield, we kind of were more relaxed as an audience,
hmm,
where we think, okay, well, if Delroy didn't turn, then maybe she's not going to turn either. but she did.
Right.
And
Yeah.
it was just really, again, brilliantly handled. Um, let me look at my notes here. Okay, yeah. So we talked about this too. The cast of characters are all unique,
Mm-hmm.
and okay, yeah, we were talking about that. Yeah, so the cast of characters are all unique. They all have something to do, like we already discussed. Um, actually, that's all the notes I have.
Yeah, I mean, we covered a lot of it.
Yeah,
The
I
Asian
mean,
couple was great too.
oh yeah, I did
Uh,
want to
that
talk about the Asian couple.
that actress, she was actually in Babylon.
Oh, is she?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I loved how her husband was after he returned. He's so relaxed, and it's just like, okay, come
Let's
on,
go
let's go
home. I've
home.
gone too far.
And he uses their daughter. You know, she's
Yeah.
home alone. We gotta go back to our daughter. And okay, yeah, that's what I was going to say. When the vampires actually come into the sawmill, it's because of her.
Yeah.
And I thought it was going to be the typical, I gotta go get my baby. I gotta go get my baby. And she opens the door and invites them in. Instead, it was the opposite, where she's like, "Okay, you want to come in, mother effers?
Yeah.
We're gonna do a standoff, and we're
Right.
gonna kill every last one of you."
Right.
Which I thought was a great choice, because again, I thought it was going to be the typical, "We need to go back to my baby,"
You
and
broke
then
me. I have to see my kid. Yeah.
yeah, and that's not what happened. So I love that. And so she breaks. She gets the bottle and makes a Molotov cocktail,
Yep.
and and they're covering her mouth, so she's not saying "come in," but
Right.
she ends up saying it. Eventually, says it anyway, and they come in, and she immediately just throws the cocktail at them, and that's when
And it's
that's-
on.
the standoff begins. And I mean, going back to some of the negative reviews, the number one thing that I keep hearing over and over and over again is Ryan Coogler ripped off From Dusk Till Dawn. What? Because they're vampires and they have a standoff? It is nothing
I mean-
like From Dusk Till Dawn.
No.
Nothing. I mean, Dusk Till Dawn is fun, but this is a movie. That was just.
Exactly.
I mean, even Robert Rodriguez. I mean, he even admits he just makes fun movies, you
Mhm.
know. And
This is a full meal.
yeah, exactly. That's the appetizer. This is
Yeah.
the meal.
This is a full meal.
Yeah.
3-course meal here.
Exactly. And I guess another thing they say is because the first half of From Dusk Till Dawn is a drama, and then something else, and then turns into whatever. Number one, who doesn't rip off another
That's
movie?
like any movie. You have set the characters, and then
Yeah, it's
something
how
happens.
movies are made. And who doesn't? What director hasn't ripped off another? I mean, we've talked
Yeah.
about this before in the shows. Like Spielberg, he rips off
Oh yeah.
David Lean all the time, and he
John
admits
Ford.
it. John Ford
Yeah.
all the time. He even admits it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's what you do. I remember Martin Scorsese, or I think it was Martin Scorsese, where he's like, if you aren't ripping off other great directors, then you're not doing your job.
Exactly.
It's just what-
Tarantino.
Tarantino's all of his movies are complete ripoffs of other people's work.
Even
And,
the score. Like
what was that?
Even the score pieces he uses.
Right. And so saying that is just a cop out.
No.
Because you didn't like the movie, so you just say that. It's just stupid. So Sinners, the title Sinners.
Yeah.
Obviously, it has a double meaning. Michael B. Jordan and these people that are going into the sawmill to
Right.
fornicate are sinners to Samuel's father, who's a preacher.
Right.
Ryan Coogler, I would say Ryan Coogler. Michael B. Jordan is actually a sinner because he's a mobster. He's killed people.
Right.
He's a bootlegger. These are two bad guys. And then you have the vampires, who are sinners.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I think it definitely got spiritual themes, but again, not hit over the head with it.
No, nothing's hit over the head. It's all subtle.
Yeah.
Um,
the final shot though, when they're in that, is it a lake, whatever?
Incredible.
It's absolutely incredible the way it's lit, the way it's handled. I honestly don't remember the lines, so I can't give you my favorite lines.
Right.
But it's just handled so well, and I just love the way that whole scene is shot.
And I love that the guitar was the thing that had the metal
Oh
piece,
yeah,
and yeah, that yeah,
the silver.
the silver, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a phenomenal film. And then the ending, where he gets his revenge on the ex KKK or Jim Crow, uh, and
Now he knows they're coming, right? Because there's that stain, right?
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, he knows they're coming. I mean, I think
Find the guns and everything. Yeah,
they knew that they were going to eventually come anyway, so they
yeah,
were ready. And oh, that reminds me, it goes back again, setup and payoff. Earlier in the movie, when they first see because the vampires are white, the country boys, and so they think that this is Jim Crow trying to taunt them, like
right.
taunting them. And so I love it when Smoker Stack says to the other one, "Should I go get? Should I go get what's in the trunk?" I
Yeah,
love
Tommy
that.
gun. Yeah,
And you're like, "What's in the trunk?" And then we find out at the end again, payoff. It's a Tommy gun
yeah.
that he gets out of the trunk and just mows down these racist white people. And he's
And yeah, there's that line where the guy's like, "I got a lot of money."
yeah,
You know.
he's like, "Whatever you want, I'll give you." And
Yeah.
he's like, "You think this is about money?" And then he just mows him down. Yeah, just everything is just so well done, so great. And then when like we already spoiled the epilogue, but you think that he's dead as a vampire, and then he shows up and talks to Buddy Guy, and so does Haley Stanfield.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
The older Sammy, played by
Yeah.
Buddy Guy. Yeah, it's
Buddy Guy,
and he has the scars, from the incident,
Yeah.
and everything,
which was
yeah.
great. I love that.
Yeah,
So yeah, this is a great example. Again, as I keep saying, setup and payoff, which is a lost art. Um, I don't know. Any last thoughts before we wrap this up?
yeah. I mean, just real quick. I mean, it was shot mostly on film, and I gotta say the presentation was better in theaters, mostly because the aspect ratio didn't change. On home viewing this time, the changing aspect ratio kind of bothered me because it
Yeah,
would go from IMAX and then really tight 235 or whatever it is. And it's just I don't know. I just felt like I wish maybe they had shot it all IMAX or all 235, whatever. Just pick one.
I'm glad you brought this up because it reminded me. I did want to talk about the ratio.
Yeah, and I don't. It kind of diminished the IMAX parts for me, or I don't know. It just kind of. It didn't seem necessary if it's 16 minutes is going to be changing to
Yeah,
fuller screen. I mean,
yeah. Because I looked it up, and it says that it features 30 minutes,
okay, 30 minutes.
30 minutes and 19.73 seconds of IMAX footage. To me, it's like kind of what's the point?
So that's like the third of a movie, right? Or the
I mean, a movie's 2 hours and what?
Okay.
2 hours and 10 minutes, somewhere around there. 2 hours and
yeah,
15 minutes.
the fourth of the movie. It's not even.
Yeah. And then what I did appreciate though that it was actually shot under ultra 70 millimeter at
Yeah.
two
Yeah,
at
it looked beautiful.
2.76 to 1. Which honestly, I thought if they would have kept it at the 2.76 ratio, it would have looked beautiful. I mean,
yeah.
it looks very cinematic at ratio.
And that's how I saw it in theaters. It wasn't an IMAX
Oh, okay.
theater. I saw it in just regular Dolby, and yeah, it was great.
Yeah. And I've been ridiculed for this. I've said it on social media. I'm not a fan of the aspect ratio shifting, fluctuating, whatever you want to call it. I mean, it all started with Dark Knight, where Christopher Nolan shot little scenes in IMAX, and then it came out and then after it came out on Blu-ray and 4K, everyone's like, "Oh, I love it." I don't like it. I think it kind of takes you out of the movie. a little bit. Sometimes you notice it, sometimes you don't. But when it's shot, when it's at 276-1, and then it goes, it says here 1.43-1,
Yeah.
you definitely notice it. And it did take me out of the movie when it did shift to
Yeah, they'd be
aspect
driving
ratios.
one scene and then it would go wide and then go back to small. It seemed very jarring.
One thing that I thought was cool at first, and then I didn't know if I really liked it, was when before the vampires came into the great wide shot
Yeah.
of the door, and it's from behind the characters, and then it's at 276, and then it opens up slowly.
Mhm.
I thought that was kind of cool at first, and then I thought, I don't know. It was kind of like, okay, well, it takes you out of the movie. It's just like when something hits the lens, it takes me out of the movie.
Yeah.
But anyways, I mean, that's not.
That's like the nitpick of it.
Yeah,
Score's
and that's
amazing. It's
that's
just
pretty great though. That's the only negative we have, and it's not even the movie. It's just the technical aspect of it. But yeah, go ahead.
oh yeah, I was just gonna say the score is great. I mean, it's just really a wonderful film, and I'm so glad that these things can still exist. That we original stories and true visions can still come out once in a while.
This
Yeah, it's a 5 out of 5 for me.
this proves 100%. It doesn't have to be a pre-existing
Yeah,
thing in order to make money and become a hit.
people will go.
Yeah, as long as it's a great story, good characters, and it's relatable, people will go. And even though it's about vampires, the characters are relatable, and that's what made the movie. Is because you love. Again, we talked more about the characters than we did about the vampires,
Yeah,
which is something you wouldn't say about Nosferatu, or Bram Stoker's Dracula,
Twilight, whatever.
Twilight. Yeah, so yeah, I mean it's a 5 out of 5 for me as well. I love this movie. I watched it twice in the same night because I just love the way it was shot, the way it was. I mean, it's just a great film. It's a film.
Yeah, it's an actual movie, exactly.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And this is what I mean when I
Cinema.
say to people, there's movies and then there's films. This is what I mean by that. From Dusk to Dawn, it's a movie. Sinners is a film. It's cinema.
Yep.
But yeah, yeah. I mean, that's about it. And we've been talking about this for
Yeah.
about an hour.
I'm glad you liked it.
Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and tease next Friday's episode.
All right.
Before we wrap this up.
The finale,
The
episode
finale.
6.
And this is the great way to end season 2 with the blockbuster mega event of the year, won numerous awards, hailed as a masterpiece. We have Megalopolis. This is going to be a good one.
Nominated for tons of Razzies.
I can't wait to dive into this. And
Oh,
this
yeah.
is actually, I still haven't finished it.
Really?
Yeah, I still haven't finished it because I keep getting interrupted and I just want to watch it. So this gives me a good excuse to actually
you have
sit
1
down
week.
and watch it. 1 week. Yeah, guys. So we're going to be talking about Megalopolis to wrap up the season 2 with. That's going to be a good one. I have a feeling that's going to be a really fun.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Fun episode.
Discussion.
Yeah.
Let us know your comments on Sinners this week, and we will catch you next week for our finale.
For Megalopolis. And hopefully we'll get a season 3. I'm
Yeah,
sure we will because I
we'll see
love
what the Twin Flicks Studios wants to do.
I love doing these videos.
The studio head,
The studio head.
the side.
Yeah.
Those damn twins, man.
All right, guys. Yeah, leave your comments. Let us know what you thought about Sinners. Even if you didn't like it, let us know. I'm curious to know the reasons why you didn't like it. And if you have a movie you'd like us to talk about in the next season, let us know that too, and we'll do it. All right, guys. We'll see you next time. Thanks, Dan, for joining me again.
Yeah, guys, thanks for watching.
And we will see you all next time on Two Guys and a Movie.